I'm here at the Middle East Film and Comic-Con. I'm here with one of my idols, the legend that is Andy Serkis. Thank you so much for joining us on DXB today.
Absolute pleasure. I'm really looking forward to it.
Now, you've done so much, so it's going to be very hard to keep this as a short interview. But first of all, we have to ask, what's it like being here at this Comic-Con in the United Arab Emirates?
Do you know what? I've never been to Abu Dhabi before. I've been to Dubai for a film festival, but I've never done a con in this region, and I was really excited to come and do one here.
And here's something that's amazing about you, if you don't mind me saying. One of your most iconic characters is, of course, Gollum from Lord of the Rings. Now, the thing for me that I notice is that he's a nasty character, but something in the way you play him, something in the animation, not sure, makes you sort of care for him and love him in a weird way, even though he's quite a nasty character. And I really want to know how much of that is from the source material, how much of that is from Peter Jackson, how much of that is you, the mannerisms, the way he moves and talks, how much of Gollum did you create on a personal level?
I mean, I would say, obviously, the character is there and beautifully written by Tolkien, and it is a very complex character that really sits in the grey area of humanity because he is someone who is tortured. This thing has come upon him, and he just doesn't have the will to be able to sustain life without it. So the way that and Peter Jackson, when he designed the character and we talked about it, I said I think one of the things that really resonates for me is, Gollum is an addict, that and that sense of addiction and not being able to control his desire is was what I brought to it. And so the work that I did physically, vocally, everything really reflected that, the ring, the power of the ring over him. And so you sort of, I think when you're playing a character like that, if you were to just play him as an out-and-out villain, and that people would switch off very quickly. But what is endearing about him is his vulnerability and his wretchedness and his, as I say, those are the things that people really, truly connected to about him. It wasn't so much that he was, yes, of course, there's an aggressive side, there's a manipulative side, but I think it's when we really worked on the character and it became about splitting that personality more, so that Gollum was the more visceral kind of, actually, at the end of the day, more honest, because he knew where you were with Gollum, whereas Smeagol, although he's the sort of the younger cousin, if you like, who is on the outset you think is the vulnerable child, more childlike, he's actually ends up in the third film being the one that's more manipulative, and that journey is something that we all crafted together with the writers, Philippa Boyens and Fran Walsh and myself, and then all of the physical work was stuff that I sort of put together from lots of different areas of stimulation, paintings I'd seen, descriptions of the character, just all sorts of different things. My cat, I've got inspiration from, the physicality of a cat, so. And the voice came from the idea that he's tortured and carries his guilt and pain in his throat, and yeah, I mean, it's when you work on a character, you work from lots of different angles.
Incredible to talk to you, Andy Serkis. Thank you so much for being on at DXB today.
Thank you.
Hello, my precious. Please tune in to DXB today.